Okay, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to obtain the assignment and then what you're actually going to do with it. So if you're in your Canvas account, which you should be because you're watching this video, you'll want to pause the video to do some of these steps. So after you've listened to it for a moment, you'll want to do the steps I'm about to say. So you'll go to Assignments. Once you're in Assignments, this is the page I'm on. You will look for the assignment that says Example Research Paper, Identify and Label Elements. So click on that. Mine looks slightly different. For example, I'm making the video right now and it will be right here. So I will embed that in just a moment. But the rest of it should look the same. This is a cloud assignment, meaning you will edit it directly in Google and then I will get your assignment when you tell it to submit. You can do it right here in this window. This is what the assignment looks like. I will be working on another version to walk you through it, but that's what you're looking for. It is an example paper by none other than Steve Rogers. Or you can click on this link here and it will open it in Google Docs, which I would recommend because then it's a little easier to see all of the tools that you can use because you're going to be highlighting and labeling things. So that is how you obtain the assignment. At this point in the video, I would pause and do those steps so that you can follow along with me and mark up your version of it. And you may have to go back and forth and pause, whatever works for you, but just be aware that this video walks you through the assignment. The intent is that you would follow along, listen, do the task, listen. Okay. So this is the paper not labeled. Well, it has some things, but not labeled because I want to show you and point out a few things to you. So here's our paper. I have gone through and labeled these things. Attention getter. This is a component you'll want to include in your own paper. Background information, main point 1, main point 2, main point 3. For now, what we're mostly worried about is these main points and the claim, because that's where we're going to practice these elements of argument and paragraphing. We can come back to introductory paragraphs at another time. But for now, you can get an idea of what a paper looks like when it's completed, but then you're going to practice labeling. So our main point here, what I'm going to do to kind of set the precedent is you're going to want to label that key word, which by now you are super familiar with because of our previous lesson. But it's this idea of safety. We're going to designate that one as blue. Our main point 2 is not only vaccines are safe, but they have been proven to be highly effective. And we are going to do that as another color. And then our third point, some people, including infants and those with immune disorders, cannot be vaccinated and depend on the rest of the population to protect them by being vaccinated. And so it's this idea of protection. So those are our 3 main points, this idea of safety, effective, and protect. So on the version that you're going to be looking at, this will already be highlighted. I'm just walking you through it. This, of course, is our claim that childhood vaccination should be mandatory because, again, we've got these main points. They are safe, effective, and the vulnerable need protection. And so what you will be doing, I will do paragraph 1. What you will be doing in the other paragraphs is labeling these ideas showing up again. So we've got our topics, our topic sentence with a transition. And what we're looking for is, yep, there is that topic word, this idea of it being safe. Then I've got my evidence. You're going to highlight evidence in yellow just so you recognize that that is a key component. We've got our reasoning. When you get to the reasoning, I want you to identify those 3 components we've talked about before. So first, we have the part that just restates the evidence or clarifies it, and you're going to underline that. And then you're looking for a connection to the main point. So here's this word safe. And then you are looking for the connection to claim, and there's the word mandatory. And this paragraph we've read many times, so you should be pretty familiar. Then we've got our second piece of evidence, and I have labeled that. It's not a direct quote. Not all evidences need to be direct quotes. They can be what we call paraphrasing, and that is fine. However, it still is evidence, so I'm going to highlight it. this is the part of the reasoning that is just restating, clarifying that quote. I have a second statement that serves the other purposes. So there's safety, and again, connection to claim, mandatory. In my counter argument, again, I'm looking for my topic. In my rebuttal, I am looking for my topic again. And in my concluding statement, I am looking for the same things, this idea of safety and a connection to my claim. So we've already spent a lot of time on this paragraph. I just want to show you really quickly how you're going to mark things up. So that's what it will look like when you already get it. I just wanted to walk you through it. For paragraph 3, you are going to use the preceding paragraph as an example, specifically for the labeling, and then you are going to label the paragraph components. So transition, topic, sentence, evidence, citation 1, reasoning, and so on. And you can see I've done that here. That's the part that's in bold that's put right in front of it. So you can type directly on this document in Google and type in the elements. And the first one's pretty easy. I'm going to scroll down so you can see next. That's your transition. You're just going to label it. You're going to type right in front of it and go transition. You'll need to do that step. So that's your first step, is just labeling all those pieces. Then you're going to highlight the topic word. This time it's effective, or a similar word or phrase. And this time we're doing purple. You're going to highlight evidence in yellow, reference to the claim in red, underline the part of reasoning that clarifies and explains. This time you have to create the in-text citation, and you have been given a number so that you can refer to the works cited page. So that you can say, okay, it's by this person, this is their last name, therefore how do I create an in-text? So this is kind of a culminating activity for MLA as well. So that's asking you to create that citation. And so that's what you will do with this part. So at this point in the video, I would pause and work on paragraph 3, which is the second body paragraph, and do these things. And then just again for this part, where you're asked to provide a citation, a number is given just to reference you to the works cited page, which is here. And so that said number 3, this is the source that you're going to look at in order to create that in-text citation. It's just a quick practice on in-text. So go ahead and pause it and work on paragraph 3, which is body paragraph 2. After you've completed paragraph 3, you will work on the third body paragraph, which is the fourth paragraph in the essay. You are doing very similar things. So step 1 is the same, step 2 is the same, except now you're looking for this idea of protection, highlighting in green, evidence is yellow, reference to claim is red. Still creating an in-text, so those are numbered as well. The new thing in this paragraph is that you are not provided with reasoning. You need to read up to that point, including the evidence, and create the reasoning for it. So you need to clarify the quote, and you underline that part. Connect to the main point, and then connect to the claim. And so you have 2 preceding paragraphs that give you examples of how to do that. Now you're being asked to do it. So all the other things are the same, so you'd label the transition. You're looking for effective. You've got evidence here. You've got your citation. It's source 2. I have to give you a page number because there's no way you would know, but you'll fit that in. And then the reasoning's not provided. You have to write that and just make sure it has those 3 components. It is connected to, it explains the quote, it's connected to the main point, connected to the claim. And then you will highlight those things too to show that you have accomplished all 3 purposes. And then you have your second piece of evidence, citation, also writing reasoning for that. So at this point, I would pause and work on that last paragraph. Okay. So all of the paragraphs in this essay should now be marked up in some way. You have labeled everything, you have color-coded, and you have written reasoning for the third body paragraph. The conclusion is already marked up just to reinforce the concept, and it should mirror your introduction. So you've got a transition, you're reviewing this time, so it's not a word for word, it's a review of the main point. And here it is, the review of the safety point, review of effectiveness, review of protecting the vulnerable, review of the claim, and then instead of having your attention getter again, you connect back to it. So it mirrors, not copies, just mirrors your introduction. And that's what a completed paper looks like. So when you start in a week or two on your own research paper, you kind of have the end goal in mind. You have the bigger picture, and we will revisit this when it comes time for you to start crafting your own paper. But again, we wanted you to see the whole thing, the end goal, so that you know where you're going. When you have completed all of the labeling and marking, just make sure that you submit it so that you can get credit for this task.